everyone, it's Matthew Haraburda here at Bernardo Wealth Planning, Chief Investment Officer. Just wanted to reach out to you as Q3 is now wrapped up and we look forward to Q4 and our outlook for the beginning of 2025. So reflection on Q3. It was a pretty eventful one. Not only did we see the first Fed rate cut in 2 years of approximately 50 basis points, but we also saw the return of volatility to the markets, specifically throughout August and September. And while a lot has been written about what the culprit was or who the culprits were that led to that market sell-off, the one thing that really stands out to us is that there's been a clear shift away from solely worrying about inflation to much more looking at the economy holistically with corporate profitability and the job market. And we believe that that's something that's going to remain consistent and is going to be the biggest theme, not only going into the election, but as we look forward to next year as well. So one thing that we did find very helpful throughout the quarter is kind of looking historically about how often these sort of corrections have happened. And if you look over the last 35 years, 20 corrections of 10% or more have happened with an average downturn or an average sell-off of approximately 14%. So when we look at this statistic, you see that corrections like this are much more normal than kind of what it felt like during Q3 when we were in the midst of that sell-off. And we bring this up because there's obviously an election coming up in the next 5 or 6 weeks, which historically has been a time where there is more volatility and uncertainty in the markets. And one thing that Nick and I have been talking about, and we wanted to reach out to you, is that we looked historically over, regardless of who wins the election, whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans, it really has not had a high correlation to what the returns of the stock market have been. So we wanted to reach out to not only mention that volatility has returned and that we have an election that's going to be a more volatile scenario coming up, but we don't want this to really impact or change any sort of allocations that we have across client accounts. We believe that investing for the long term is really what we should focus on, because if we look at some of the reports that have been put out by some of our investment partners, is one of the worst things that you can do for your retirement and your financial future going forward is kind of taking money out of the markets around an election, because then it becomes very difficult to put the money back into the market. So as we look forward to not only Q4 but 2025, our base case is that the Fed is going to be able to accomplish their soft landing that they've reached out and spoken about ad nauseum. And we believe that primarily right now because we have not seen any red flags, not only on the corporate side of things or in the job market, because we've kind of seen rolling recessions within the job market, but we haven't seen anything that really stands out to us right now. So we're cautiously optimistic looking forward. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your advisor or myself, and I'd be happy to discuss. Thanks so much and talk soon.